The school bus screeches to a halt at Maple and 3rd, its brakes groaning like they're as weary as I feel. I'm Ava Thompson, 13, and I'm crying again, my face pressed against the cool window, praying no one notices the tears streaking my cheeks. The other kids are lost in laughter, shoving, or their phones, but I sense their glances, sharp as pinpricks on my skin. I tug my oversized hoodie tighter, sleeves swallowing my hands, wishing I could vanish into the gray fabric. I've wanted to disappear for months, ever since Mom's car accident left me alone with Marcus, my stepfather, whose shadow looms over my life. I sit in the 3rd row behind the driver, always alone, always silent. Silence is safer. If I don't speak, maybe I can hide the panic that surges when I hear Marcus's footsteps at night, creeping into my room when he thinks I'm asleep. It started after the funeral, when the house grew cold and quiet. At first, he just stood in the doorway, watching. Then he'd sit on my bed, his voice low, murmuring, "You're all I've got now, Ava." His words were chains, tightening with every visit. I told my aunt once, my voice trembling. She dismissed it, said I was dramatic, that Marcus was grieving. Her disbelief cut deeper than the crash that took Mom. I learned to stay quiet, letting tears fall where no one could see, but someone does see. Every afternoon, as the bus pulls up to this rusty stop, a man waits across the street, leaning against a battered Chevy pickup. Ethan Miller, Sophie's dad. He's a mechanic, hands smudged with grease, flannel jacket fraying at the cuffs. Sophie's in my grade, a year younger, all freckles and bright smiles, the kind of girl who'd share her lunch without a second thought. Ethan's there for her, but lately, I catch him watching me, his brow furrowed like he's piecing together a puzzle. It twists my stomach. I don't want to be seen, not when it means answering questions I can't voice. Today, the bus doors hiss open, and Sophie bounds out, her backpack bouncing as she runs to Ethan. I linger, wiping my face with my sleeve, hoping the redness in my eyes fades before I step onto the sidewalk. My sneakers hit the pavement, and I keep my head down, hurrying toward Cedar Street, away from them. But Ethan's gaze follows me, steady and heavy, like he's peeling back my carefully built walls. I hear Sophie's soft voice, saying something about me. "She's always alone, Dad. She cries every day." My chest tightens. I walk faster, almost running, the November chill biting my lungs. I can't let them know. I can't let anyone know. At home, Marcus waits. The house reeks of stale coffee and his sharp cologne. He's in the living room, flipping channels, his eyes flicking to me as I slip off my shoes. "You're late," he says, not looking up. I mumble an apology, barely audible, and retreat to my room. I lock the door, but it's not enough. Nothing is. I sit on my bed, knees to my chest, trying to breathe through the fear. Last night's memory, his shadow in my doorway, creeps in. "Stop acting scared, Ava. It's just us now." I squeeze my eyes shut, tears burning, relentless. I think of Ethan, his quiet stare at the bus stop. It's not like Marcus's calculating gaze. Ethan's eyes search, like he cares. It scares me as much as it comforts me. What if he asks? What if he sees too much? My aunt's rejection still stings. "You're confused, Ava. Marcus wouldn't do that." That treachery hurt worse than his lies. But Ethan's presence lingers, a flicker of hope I'm too afraid to touch. The next day, I skip school. I can't face the bus, the kids, or Sophie's kind eyes. I tell Marcus I'm sick, and he nods, saying, "Stay out of trouble." I spend the day in my room, staring at the ceiling, my mind spiraling. I think about running, but where? Mom's gone, my aunt doesn't believe me, and Marcus has painted me as a troubled kid. The walls close in, and I know I can't keep doing this. I need to know if his actions have left a mark I can't erase. I grab my jacket and slip out, heading to Pine Ridge Pharmacy. I need answers, even if they petrify me. As I walk, I feel eyes on me. Not Marcus's, but Ethan's. He's there, across the street, his truck parked near the diner. I freeze, heart hammering. Did he follow me? Why does he care? I want to yell at him to leave me alone, but part of me aches for someone to see. I duck into the pharmacy, hands shaking as I reach for a pregnancy test, the weight of that choice crushing me. I'm 13. This shouldn't be my life. But Marcus's deception has stolen everything else, and I need to know how much worse it can get. Ethan's shadow looms closer. And I know this moment could change everything. My hands shake as I clutch the pregnancy test box in Pine Ridge Pharmacy's dim aisle, the fluorescent lights buzzing like a warning. I'm Ava Thompson, 13, and my heart pounds so loud I'm sure the cashier hears it. The shelves blur through my tears, the choice pressing down like a boulder. Marcus's nighttime visits, his whispers in the dark, have left me haunted, fearing what they might mean. I shouldn't be here, picking between brands I don't understand, but I need to know if he's taken more than my sense of safety. His manipulation, cloaked as care, burns in my gut, a poison spreading since Mom's death. I glimpse Ethan Miller's reflection in the aisle. His flannel jacket and grease-stained hands unmistakable. Sophie's dad, the man from the bus stop who watches me with quiet, searching eyes. My breath catches, panic surging. Did he follow me? Why is he here? I want to shove the box back, to run, but my feet are stuck. He steps closer, voice soft but steady. Ava, you okay? I flinch, the box slipping, clattering to the floor. My face burns with shame. He's seen too much, and I'm exposed, raw as a frayed wire. I'm fine, I lie, voice cracking as I scramble for the box. My hands tremble so badly I can barely hold it. Ethan's eyes flick to the test, then back to me, not judging, just knowing. It's worse than pity, like he sees the truth I can't say. You don't look fine, he says gently. I want to scream, to tell him to leave, but the words choke me. The pharmacy door chimes, and my blood runs cold. Marcus. His tall frame fills the doorway, raincoat dripping, eyes locking onto mine, sharp and predatory. I feel like a trapped animal. I bolt for the back exit, the test forgotten, sneakers slipping on the slick floor. The alarm screeches as I shove the door open, cold air hitting my face. I stumble into the alley. Rain-soaked, gasping, heart hammering. Ethan's behind me, steps urgent but steady. Ava, wait, he calls. I duck behind a dumpster, breath hitching as Marcus's boots splash on the pavement. He's close, his shadow looming like a storm. Ethan crouches beside me, solid, grounding. He won't hurt you, he whispers, but I'm trembling, Marcus's treachery slicing through me. Why are you doing this? I hiss, voice raw. You don't know me. Ethan's eyes meet mine, steady, kind. Because I know what it's like to feel alone, he says. And you're carrying something too heavy for a kid. His words hit hard, and I choke on a sob. I don't want to trust him, but I'm exhausted from hiding. He comes into my room at night. I blurt, words spilling. He says it's because he cares, but it's wrong. The confession tears at me, but Ethan nods, like he's been waiting. Marcus's voice cuts through the alley, sharp, controlled. Ava, get out here. I freeze, but Ethan stands, shielding me. She's not going with you, he says, voice firm. Marcus steps into view, jaw tight, eyes flicking between us. This isn't your business, he snaps, a crack in his calm. I shrink back, hands gripping the dumpster's edge, cold metal biting my skin. Ethan doesn't budge. She's scared, Marcus. That's my business. The standoff feels endless. Marcus glares, then retreats to his car, engine roaring as he drives off. Ethan turns to me, face softening. Come with me. You're safe now. I want to believe him, but Marcus's deception screams that trust is a trap. Still, I follow to his truck, legs shaking. Sophie waits at a diner, eyes wide but silent, handing me her whale hoodie. At Ethan's house, the heater's warmth feels foreign. Sophie piles blankets on me, and Ethan makes soup, the spoons clink oddly comforting. But my mind races. Marcus knows I ran. He'll come for me, and his lies claw at me. Ethan sits across, hands folded. You don't have to go back, he says. Not tonight. Not ever, if I can help it. His words are a lifeline, but I'm too rattled to grab it, too broken by Marcus's treachery to believe in safety. The couch in Ethan's living room feels like a borrowed haven, its worn cushions soft under Sophie's blanket. I'm Ava Thompson, 13, heart still racing from last night's pharmacy escape. Marcus's cold eyes haunt me, a reminder of the deception that's carved into my bones. He called himself family, but his nighttime visits, his twisted whispers, proved him a liar. I'm safe here, with Ethan and Sophie, but I can't shake the fear that Marcus is waiting, his control tightening even from afar. Morning light filters through the curtains, but it doesn't warm me. I barely slept, jumping at every creak, expecting Marcus's boots on the porch. Ethan's in the kitchen, flipping pancakes for Sophie, who hums a pop song. Their normalcy feels foreign, a language I forgot after Mom died. I clutch Sophie's whale hoodie, trying to focus on syrup's sweetness instead of dread. Ethan glances over, eyes kind but sharp, like he sees I'm teetering. You okay, Ava? He asks. I nod, lying. I'm petrified Marcus will find me, that his lies will paint me as the problem. Ethan turns, face softening. You're safe now, Ava, he says. I'm shaking, truth spilling. He was going to hurt me. He said he loved me, but he lied. Ethan nods, hand on my shoulder. I know. You're not alone anymore. CPS arrives, Carl Wexler with calm eyes and a clipboard. He asks if I feel safe with Marcus. I shake my head, words stuck. Someone listens, and it cracks my walls. As we drive away, the park fading, I know this isn't over. Marcus's deception scars me, but I'm learning what safety might mean. The hospital smells like antiseptic and regret, a sterile chill seeping into my bones as I sit on the exam table's crinkly paper. I'm Ava Thompson, 13, wearing Sophie's whale hoodie. Hands twisting the sleeves until they're damp. Marcus is in custody after the park standoff, but his manipulation, his false love, claws at me, a wound bleeding fresh with every thought. I'm safe with Ethan and Sophie, but safety feels fragile, like a cracked eggshell. Dr. Mason, tall with gray-streaked hair and sharp eyes, kneels beside me, voice gentle. Ava, I'll ask some questions. Answer as much or as little as you want. I nod, throat tight, eyes on the floor. The room's faded balloon murals feel like a weak cover for the clinical air. Sophie sits by the door, sketchbook untouched, eyes worried. Ethan leans against the wall, hands still, holding back a storm. Their presence tethers me against memories of Marcus's shadow. His voice making me feel guilty. Have you been hurt, Ava? Dr. Mason asks, pen poised. My stomach lurches. I want to lie, but the truth is heavy. He didn't hit me, I whisper. But he came into my room at night. Said he cared, but it was wrong. The words tear at my shame, raw since Mom's death. Dr. Mason's eyes soften, nodding, scribbling. Did he touch you uncomfortably? I nod, tears burning. His treachery stings, knowing he twisted my trust. The sirens blare in my ears, sharp and piercing, as Marcus stands handcuffed, his face a mask of fury under the flashing red and blue lights at Lakeside Reserve. I'm Ava Thompson, 13, crouched behind a cluster of pine trees, my heart pounding so fiercely I think it might break my ribs. Ethan Miller, the mechanic who's become my shield, holds Sophie and me close, his voice steady as he murmurs, "It's over, Ava. You're safe now." But Marcus's deception, those late-night intrusions he disguised as love, slices deep, a wound that aches even as he's dragged away by police. His treachery clings like a heavy chain, and though I'm free, I'm still trembling, his lies a shadow I'm struggling to escape. Months later, I'm in a courtroom, the air thick with the musty scent of old paper and nervous tension. The wooden benches creak beneath me, and I clutch Sophie's faded blue sweater, its sleeves too long but warm, like a silent embrace that keeps me anchored. Ethan sits beside me, his grease-stained hands folded, eyes locked on the judge with quiet resolve. Sophie's on my other side, sketching dinosaurs in her notebook, her calm presence a lifeline in this storm of emotions. The judge, a silver-haired woman with glasses perched low, speaks with authority. Based on evidence and reports, Marcus Carter's custodial rights are terminated effective immediately. Ava Thompson will remain in approved foster care pending further review. The words hit like a tidal wave, relief flooding me, but the sting of Marcus's manipulation lingers. He claimed I was unstable, a liar who made it all up, but his falsehoods crumbled under the weight of truth. Yet the betrayal scars me, a reminder of how he stole my trust, my sense of safety, and the family I thought I had after Mom's death. The courtroom empties slowly, and I linger as we step into sunlight, the sky clear and endless, painting my face with warmth. For the first time in months, I don't flinch at its touch. Touch lingers. Ethan rests a hand on my shoulder, his smile small but genuine. "You okay, kid?" he asks, and I nod, my throat tight with unspoken words. "Yeah, Dad," I say, the words slipping out naturally, like a melody I've always known. Ethan's eyes widen, then soften, and Sophie grins, nudging me playfully. "Took you long enough," she teases, her freckles bright. The name feels right, like a key turning in a lock. Marcus was never family, just a shadow who twisted care into control. Ethan sees me, truly sees me, and that's enough to start healing the fractures Marcus left behind. Life at Ethan's house feels like learning to paint, each day a new stroke of color on a canvas I thought would stay gray forever. The kitchen smells of burnt cookies and laughter, Sophie and I ruining batches with too much sugar, flour dusting our cheeks as Ethan pretends to scold us, his eyes twinkling with mischief. My room, once a spare space with blank walls, now holds my sketches, sunflowers, starry skies, and one of a golden retriever I dream of owning someday. My grandmother, Eleanor, visits every Sunday, her lavender-scented cardigan a warm presence as she sits with me, weaving stories of Mom's childhood, how she loved catching fireflies and reading poetry by flashlight. Each tale, hidden by Marcus's lies, stitches a piece of my heart back together, but the ache of his treachery lingers, a shadow that flares when I think of his courtroom denials. One afternoon, I visit the school library, a quiet haven of worn books and soft whispers. I find a corner table and pull out my sketchbook, my pencil moving for a contest about family. I draw Ethan, Sophie, and me at the Maple and 3rd bus stop, our breath visible in the crisp November air. Ethan's arm is around Sophie, his face kind but weathered, his eyes fierce with protectiveness. I stand beside them, a hesitant smile on my lips, the retriever at our feet, a symbol of hope. Sophie peers over, her braids swinging. Ethan rests a hand on my shoulder, his smile small but genuine. "You okay, kid?" he asks, and I nod, my throat tight with unspoken words. "Yeah, Dad," I say, the words slipping out naturally, like a melody I've always known. Ethan's eyes widen, then soften, and Sophie grins, nudging me playfully. "Took you long enough," she teases, her freckles bright. The name feels right, like a key turning in a lock. Marcus was never family, just a shadow who twisted care into control. Ethan sees me, truly sees me, and that's enough to start healing the fractures Marcus left behind. Life at Ethan's house feels like learning to paint, each day a new stroke of color on a canvas I thought would stay gray forever. The kitchen smells of burnt cookies and laughter, Sophie and I ruining batches with too much sugar, flour dusting our cheeks as Ethan pretends to scold us, his eyes twinkling with mischief. My room, once a spare space with blank walls, now holds my sketches, sunflowers, starry skies, and one of a golden retriever I dream of owning someday. My grandmother, Eleanor, visits every Sunday, her lavender-scented cardigan a warm presence as she sits with me, weaving stories of Mom's childhood, how she loved catching fireflies and reading poetry by flashlight. Each tale, hidden by Marcus's lies, stitches a piece of my heart back together, but the ache of his treachery lingers, a shadow that flares when I think of his courtroom denials. One afternoon, I visit the school library, a quiet haven of worn books and soft whispers. I find a corner table and pull out my sketchbook, my pencil moving for a contest about family. I draw Ethan, Sophie, and me at the Maple and Third bus stop, our breath visible in the crisp November air. Ethan's arm is around Sophie, his face kind but weathered, his eyes fierce with protectiveness. I stand beside them, a hesitant smile on my lips, the retriever at our feet, a symbol of hope. Sophie peers over, her braids swinging. I want to ask you, whoever's reading this, have you ever seen someone carrying too much? A kid at a bus stop, a stranger in a store? Did you pause, look closer, or walk on? I was that girl, crying until Ethan noticed. Your story matters, and so do theirs. Share in the comments, where are you from, your city, your country? Let's see how far this reaches. If this story touched you, hit subscribe. These stories remind us to see each other, to care, to act. Thanks for being here, for seeing me.